When life feels pointless, when the days blur together and hope seems distant, remember this. Every story worth telling begins in darkness and uncertainty. There was once a modest village nestled between hills and forests where people moved quietly through their routines, rarely daring to dream beyond the boundaries of their world. In this village lived a young woman named Mira, whose days had become a slow repetition of chores, quiet dinners, and longing gazes out her window. The world felt heavy on her shoulders, and sometimes she wondered what difference she truly made. Mira's heart ached with questions she could not voice. Is this all there is? Does anything I do matter? The sun would rise and set, the seasons would turn, and her life seemed caught in an endless loop. She watched others pursue their passions, chase after laughter, and she convinced herself that perhaps she was simply not destined for greatness or joy. She felt invisible, unseen, unheard, and unimportant. One evening, while wandering the edge of the forest, Mira stumbled upon an elderly man tending to a small, wilting tree. His hands were weathered, his eyes kind, and his manner gentle. Despite the tree's frail appearance, he knelt beside it with care, watering its roots and whispering encouragement to its branches. Intrigued, Mira approached and asked, "Why do you care so much for this little tree? It doesn't seem likely to survive." The old man smiled, his face creased with years of wisdom. Every life, however small, carries meaning. Sometimes the smallest acts of care bring forth the greatest miracles. This tree may look weak now, but with patience, it might one day shelter birds and shade weary travelers. Mira lingered, watching as the man continued his tender rituals. She realized that even in the quiet corners of the world, hope could take root. Days turned into weeks, and Mira found herself returning to the tree, helping the old man nurture it. Each morning she watered the soil and brushed away the weeds, slowly noticing changes. Tiny buds on branches a little more green than yesterday. The old man shared stories about his youth, his losses, and the moments he felt adrift. He explained that in his loneliest times, caring for something else, no matter how small, helped him find purpose. One afternoon, Mira confessed her own feelings of emptiness. "I keep waiting for something extraordinary to happen, to give my life meaning. But I am just ordinary." The old man listened, then said, "Meaning isn't found by waiting for greatness. It's built, moment by moment, choice by choice. The world needs ordinary people who choose to nurture, to listen, to keep going, even when it seems pointless." As the seasons changed, the tree grew stronger and taller. Birds began to rest in its branches, and villagers marveled at its revival. Children played in its shade, and travelers paused to admire its resilience. Mira realized that her simple acts, watering, caring, believing, had transformed something that once seemed doomed. She saw how even the smallest efforts could ripple outward, touching lives she never expected. Mira's days were no longer silent and heavy. She found purpose in helping others, in listening to their stories, in planting seeds of encouragement wherever she could. She learned that when life feels empty, sometimes the answer is to fill others' cups. When she felt lost, she offered directions. When she felt invisible, she made others feel seen. Slowly, she understood. Meaning is not something handed to you. It's something you create with every kind word, every gentle act, every step forward in faith. There will be days when life feels unbearably hard, days when hope slips through your fingers. In those moments, remember Mira and her tree. Remember that your smallest actions matter. The world is changed not just by grand gestures, but by everyday courage. The courage to care, to try again, to reach out even when you feel empty yourself. If your heart aches, if you feel unseen, know this: you are not alone. Everyone struggles. Everyone doubts. The village that Mira called home was filled with people who quietly carried pain and longing. Each of them, in their own way, discovered that connection and compassion heal the deepest wounds. Sometimes, healing begins not with sudden joy, but with quiet perseverance. It's the willingness to show up, to nurture the things that might seem insignificant, to believe in the possibility of growth and change. It's the choice to offer your heart, even when it feels broken, and to trust that even small acts create meaning. So when you gaze out your window and wonder if your life matters, remember the story of Mira and the tree. Remember that hope can be found in the most unlikely places, and that even when life feels pointless, you have the power to create purpose, one small act at a time. Your story is still unfolding, and somewhere, someone waits for the shelter of your kindness. Let this tale heal your heart. Let it remind you that you are not alone, that every life holds value, and that in the quiet moments, you plant seeds that will blossom in ways you cannot yet imagine. When life feels pointless, remember, you are the gardener, and your care can heal the world.